On a clear, crisp night in Starwood, where the stars felt close enough to reach and dreams were always just around the corner, 4 young explorers known as the Midnight Pack prepared for a new adventure. Mia, Sam, Tariq, and Lila, bound by friendship and a love of mystery, were drawn once again into the unknown. Tonight it was a whisper of a tale passed down by Starwood's oldest residents, a story of the Starlit Well. The legend spoke of a well hidden deep in the old meadow, a well that held something precious. But what lay at the bottom, and how to find it, was known only to those daring enough to seek it. The pack waited until their homes grew quiet, the only sounds the soft ticking of clocks and the gentle rustling of night winds. When the moment was right, they each slipped out of their beds, sneaking quietly through dark hallways and out into the waiting night. They met at the edge of town, where the trees of the Starwood forest stood tall, their branches arched like the entrance to another world. Mia held a worn, hand-drawn map, something they had found earlier that day in the town's library. The map was filled with scribbles and cryptic markings, all leading to a lone X near the meadow, just where the legend said the Starlit Well would be. With a nod, the 4 friends set off, flashlights lighting the path as they made their way through the forest. The night was still, only their footsteps echoing softly against the crunch of fallen leaves. Every once in a while an owl would hoot or a squirrel would dart across their path, but otherwise it felt as if the world was holding its breath, watching the Midnight Pack on their journey. After a while they reached the meadow, a sprawling field blanketed in silver moonlight. The grass seemed to sparkle, almost like it was dusted with stars. Mia consulted the map again, pointing toward a cluster of wildflowers that bordered the far edge of the meadow. As they approached, they saw it, the well, standing alone, overgrown with ivy and surrounded by clusters of glowing white flowers. The stones that made up the well were old and moss-covered, each one glistening faintly in the moonlight. It looked like it had been there for hundreds of years, hidden from the world, waiting for someone to find it. The pack gathered around the well, peering over the edge. The well was deep, its bottom hidden in darkness, but something shimmered faintly below, like a distant star reflected in the water. They could feel the pull of mystery, the sense that whatever lay below was waiting just for them. Sam, always resourceful, had brought a small rope with him. Tying it securely to the well's edge, he lowered it into the darkness, each of them taking turns carefully climbing down. It was quiet, save for the occasional drip of water echoing softly as they descended. Finally they reached the bottom. There, in the soft, cool earth, lay a single, round stone. It was smooth and polished, almost as if it had been shaped by the hands of the earth itself. The stone glowed faintly, its surface swirling with colours, blues, greens, and soft silver hues, like the night sky. Carefully Lila reached out and lifted the stone, feeling its warmth. But as she held it, something magical happened. The well's walls began to shimmer, small lights appearing as if stars had come alive, filling the well with a gentle glow. The Midnight Pack stared in wonder as they realized this was no ordinary stone. This was the Starstone, a fabled treasure said to hold a piece of the night sky itself. With the Starstone in hand, the pack climbed back up, their spirits lifted, their hearts filled with awe. Once they reached the top, they found that the meadow had transformed. The flowers now glowed more brightly, as if to welcome the Starstone back to the world. But the magic didn't end there. As they walked back through the meadow, holding the Starstone between them, they noticed something remarkable. The light from the Starstone was leaving a trail, tiny pinpoints of light, like stars that lingered wherever they walked. They were carrying the stars back to Starwood. As they entered the town, the Starstone's glow spread, casting a gentle light over the streets and rooftops. It seemed to wake something in the town itself. Lamps flickered on, flowers unfurled as if touched by daylight, and the air filled with the scent of night-blooming jasmine. The people of Starwood, still tucked in their beds, began to stir, each one feeling a sense of peace and joy, though they didn't know why. The pack made their way to the town square, where an ancient oak tree stood tall, its branches stretching toward the stars. They knew this was where the Starstone belonged, a place where its light could shine for everyone. They placed the stone at the base of the tree, watching as its light grew, illuminating the square with a soft, silvery glow. Then something wonderful happened. The tree's branches began to glow, tiny blossoms of light appearing like stars among its leaves. The light spread through the branches, reaching higher and higher until it seemed to touch the night sky itself, blending the earth and stars in a single, beautiful display. As the sun began to rise, the light of the Starstone gently faded, but its magic lingered. The town square now sparkled with star-like flowers. The scent of jasmine filled the air, and the people of Starwood awoke with hearts full of peace and happiness, touched by a night they would never remember but would always feel. As for the Midnight Pack, they watched from a distance, their mission complete. They returned quietly to their homes, slipping into bed just as the first rays of morning touched their windows. And as they drifted off to sleep, they knew that Starwood was a little brighter, a little more magical, and that they had once again shared in something truly special. In Starwood, the mysteries of the night would always be there, waiting for those with hearts of wonder. And the Midnight Pack, those 4 young friends, would always be ready to answer the call. So, under the silvered glow of the early morning sky, the Midnight Pack's adventure came to a close. But in the hearts of the people of Starwood, the warmth and joy of the Starlit Well and the Starstone would remain, like a gentle, lasting light.